It's a new year and everybody has their resolutions, which leads us to have the biggest question of all. Is Jiu-Jitsu worth learning in 2025? Maybe you're brand new to the sport and you have tons of questions wondering how you can get into it, or you've been doing it for a while wondering if this sport is still for you. No worries, this one-trick pony has you covered. From seeing if the sport is viable for self-defense, if your body can take it, and even if Jiu-Jitsu is a realistic activity for everyone. So instead of you guys getting flustered to see if you can answer all these questions, let's just dive right in. Let's be honest with ourselves. How many times in life do you get to develop awesome skills and have fun at the same time? Flying submissions, flipping people up in the air, and choking people out way more effectively than you did on the playground. Jiu-Jitsu is a great way to develop effective skills that no one around you will have. I mean, think about it. How many ways can you actually develop your self-defense as an adult and it's not all bullshito? In Jiu-Jitsu, you get to learn how to control distance, engage on your terms, and if worse comes to shove, you should be able to fuck someone up if you're any good at the sport. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say that Jiu-Jitsu is the most effective sport for all of self-defense if that's your main skill you want to acquire, but it certainly doesn't hurt. And while we're on this train of learning effective skills, we have to also touch on that it's actually fun to do. I can think of many things in life that we could do to try and make more money, improve our health, give us more opportunities, but it's about as fun as picking weeds on a Saturday. I never feel that way about Jiu-Jitsu. There's something so entertaining about going full Dexter on someone, squeezing the life out of them, but guess what? It's all legal. It's fun working hard when you're trying to solve a problem. You want to set up a move to win the round, such as passing their legs so you can work into a position that you can choke them. And if you do everything right, they have no choice of getting out. They have to tap. Or even when you're getting the push paced on you, unless you want to end up looking like you enjoy having another man control you, you gotta get the hell out of there. The challenge is fun, and it turns out that if you don't respect the consequences, you're gonna learn quickly what's gonna happen to you. Everybody loves a good workout, so you may as well try and wrestle and beat somebody down at the same time, so it's a fun workout as well. And I will be honest that there are some boring parts to Jiu-Jitsu, but more and more gyms these days are changing how they're teaching people and addressing the problems that they've seen with what people don't like to do. They're getting rid of warm-ups so you can skip doing lame things like sprints and push-ups, and some are taking a more active approach by removing drilling and having everything live. What that means is you don't need to sit there for half the class and let your partner just do whatever he wants to you. You can work the entire time so you have no wasted time when you're on the mats. Now, I mentioned 2 positive points right away, but I'd be doing you guys a disservice if I only talked about the good things, and Jiu-Jitsu can certainly be weird. This one is all over the place, and depending on what gym you go to, you may never encounter any of these issues. But if you spend any time online looking at Jiu-Jitsu and getting into the actual nitty-gritty of it, you're gonna see that some things can be very strange. Turns out you could be trying Jiu-Jitsu for the first time and for whatever reason, the coach doesn't like to make money. Some gyms are so strange about having white belts on the mat because they are so frequent that they don't put the time in developing the white belts and they just kind of think they're going to quit anyway. It's like a vetting process. They want to see if you can live up to the sport, if you can get used to getting choked or just being around other people in such a close proximity. But once you get past that, you're probably going to be able to train with them and you won't have any issues. But honestly, that's the light side of it. If you're not new to Jiu-Jitsu, you know that gym politics are a real thing and anything can change in a split moment. The whole class can turn on you from the smallest rumors, people divide into cliques, and honestly, Jiu-Jitsu can be really culty at times. That's the downside of having a sport that's really fun to do, but it also gives you skills where you could dominate 90% of the world because most people are untrained. You get these people with a massive ego complex that are happy they have these new skills, and they're going to make sure that they're going to enforce the rules on the mat and off the mat if it has anything to do with Jiu-Jitsu. Then when you're brand new to the sport, if you encounter one of these people, there's no way you can stop them because they're way better than you. Hopefully you don't encounter these people, just be aware that they do exist. Now, speaking of 2025, you may notice something different about me, and I'm wearing gear from Gold. Gold is a Jiu-Jitsu company that has all sorts of equipment, whether it be bags, skis, rash guards, shorts, you name it, it's out there and available to you. Their gear is American made, so none of their products are coming from China. They have incredible shipping time, and all of their stuff is IBJJF legal, meaning you can wear it in tournaments that you're not even going to compete in, but at least you have the option. The gear is form-fitting, breathable, and honestly, I like how clean it looks after I've had some of my earlier days wearing the most sporadic gear possible. It's a professional look for real athletes, so if you want to get some clean and amazing looking gear that can arrive at your doorstep in just a few days, go to goldbjj.com/Tyler. Getting back to wondering if we should actually do jiu-jitsu, you need to understand if you can both physically and mentally take it. Truthfully, I don't have too many issues with the sport, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't mention the biggest issue that I do have, and that's injuries. I know I've mentioned this in other videos, but that's because it's so prevalent in BJJ. I mean, look at me right now. You can see that my neck isn't centered because I never fixed the shoulder. I need to constantly think about switching how my neck is adjusted so I have a straight body. Those injuries are real with jiu-jitsu. And I'd like to tell you that's 100% preventable, but I think that's lying as well. If you use your body and put it to the brink, it's eventually going to show signs of it. You can try and roll at a snail's pace or be like that creepy dude who only trains with women, but then you're missing out on 90% of the sport. If you seriously want to prevent injuries, my best advice is that you have to pair it with weightlifting. It may seem like adding even more workouts is going to negatively affect you, but my joints and overall body health have never felt stronger ever since I added a strong lifting routine to my game. I also don't think you should be a fear monger expecting everybody to slam submissions on you, jump to terrible spots, throw flying attacks on you. Most people are pretty chill at the gym. You just have to be aware of those odd ducklings that love to be fancy and do the most crazy things possible that could hurt you in the long run. With those two big negatives out of the way, it's time for the biggest positive of all, and that's that you can revitalize yourself doing jiu-jitsu. One thing about life is that it's a grind. You get older, work until you're 65, then get to enjoy your retirement once you have one foot in the grave. But one of the best points about jiu-jitsu is that you can reinvent yourself with the sport. It's rare where you get time specifically devoted to yourself and improving your life once you're an adult. Jiu-jitsu lets you build your confidence as your body gets stronger and you develop skills. You could have a team activity that doesn't involve dashboards and sending reports to your manager. Really, the best part is that jiu-jitsu is applicable for any time of your life. You can do it when you're young, an adult, overcoming an injury, old, have kids, going through divorce, it doesn't matter. Jiu-jitsu is always there for you if you want to take part in the journey. It's satisfying to know that you can work on skills, grind through the ranks, try and earn those new belts, and you have something to show for it. I've been doing this sport for over 15 years, so I have a lot of experience and knowledge on it, and I can say confidently that I've encountered everybody in a different step of their life and they've all enjoyed jiu-jitsu. Now honestly, I don't see why you guys couldn't have that same experience. If you want to have a new and enjoyable sport that you've never done before, try jiu-jitsu. You're going to have some great skills that you actually enjoy and you're going to have fun doing it the entire time.